What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Touchdown with yours truly, Doug Smith. Now, folks, if this is your first time tuning into the channel, you guys know I bring nothing but that heat. I cover the entire NFL from mock drafts. I have exclusive NFL interviews, football analysis, everything and above. So super happy you guys are here spending some time with me here tonight. And folks, as you guys saw the thumbnail, and the reason that you clicked on this episode is we're going to take and cover the 2021 mock draft for the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay. Now, for Chargers Nation, this is a very, very exciting time because you guys have hit the lotto. Now, I will say Phillip Rivers, he had a great stint. He had a great stint with the Chargers, but his time was up. Obviously, he left 2 seasons ago last year with the Colts. And I will say, and I apologize because I've talked a lot of mess about this dude before he was drafted. Justin Herbert. Wow. Where the heck did that come from? I mean, he's looking very Josh Allen-esque. I mean, he looks really freaking good. And I'll be honest with you, he probably looked better than any single quarterback in the draft last year, better than Burrow, better than Tua Tagovailoa. I was cheering that the Chargers would end up getting Tua. But we saw how that all took place. So, but nonetheless, very, very happy for Herbert. Also, got a new addition, got a brand new coach. Brand new coach's name is going to be Brandon Staley, defensive coordinator for the Rams. And that is going to affect a lot of these draft picks as well, too. But we have a lot of craven needs. Not only do we need a few defensive pieces, also as well, we have to beef up our O-line because as it stands right now, we only got Trey Turner, and then also Brian Beluga currently under contract on that O-line. Now, we're going to kick it off. I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to go ahead and start 7-round mock draft. Here we go. And we're going to go ahead and start the draft. Now, we're sitting very pretty in this draft. I really like where we're sitting at. What's exciting is that we got the 13th overall pick. Now, we can beef up our O-line, get a pretty good O-line, but I do believe that there's going to be pretty good O-linemen lingering around the 3rd-round draft pick. Being that we have a defensive coach, I know the temptation is definitely going to be for us to get an edge rusher. Now, he opted out, but who better than Gregory Rousseau? This guy was a phenom at Miami, making the Miami Hurricanes back like what they were back in the day. As I know right now, they got the chain gang over there in Miami, but it's going to be very, very exciting to take and see how he ends up panning out in the NFL. Plus, he had a year off. He's going to be fresh in the legs for round 2, though. And I have this. It's going to be a reoccurring theme in this year's draft. I definitely see us going offensive tackle, offensive guard. We want to get as much layers because as we saw in the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs, O-line matters. O-line matters. No matter how good your quarterback is. It don't matter how good your receivers are, how great your coach is. Man, if you don't have an O-line, you are not going to do great things in this league. And talent will only get you so far. With that being said, I have Jackson Carman, offensive tackle from Clemson. He was one of the guys who kept Trevor Lawrence upright. You know what I mean? From getting smacked around. Obviously, unfortunately, didn't win the national championship, but he did a phenomenal job. Very excited to see what he'll do for the Chargers if we end up going that route. That being said, with our 3rd pick in the draft, and again, another very dominant O-lineman in this year's draft is going to take and be Walker Little of Stanford. You guys check him out. He could take he's great on the run, excellent on the pass, one of the most well-rounded. Honestly, in my opinion, he might be the most underrated offensive lineman in this draft. But I got Walker Little. So we go back-to-back O-linemen in this year's draft. As we approach the 109th pick in the draft, we got round 4. We got 2 O-linemen, okay? Now, that leads us with 4 steady O-linemen. I will say I'm hoping that we address some of these needs in free agency as well, too, as there still is a lot of talent. Well, with that being said, we got Chris Harris. He's currently heading into his final season of his 2-year agreement, and also, as well as you guys know, he's had that nagging foot injury as well, too. Definitely looking that he could possibly be cut by the Chargers towards the start of the offseason, okay? That being said, there is a cornerback who has, man, I feel like if he went to a little bit of a bigger school, I mean, we'd be talking about this kid, maybe a top 10 pick. I'm going to even predict he's going to be the top gem of this NFL draft. I even got the pleasure to even have him on my show. I'm not just saying this because he was on my show and I'm trying to hype up the episode. But check out Trill Williams, folks. I have us picking up Trill Williams, as a matter of fact. We got a defensive corner. You know he's going to be gunning to beef up that secondary because every successful Super Bowl team has a good secondary. Trill Williams, he's somebody, he stands, if my memory serves me correct, about 6'2", 6'1". He has a 4.40, very, very fast, great open field tackler, could really knock your head off. Trill Williams, you guys make sure you go ahead and check him out. And we still got a few more picks. So we got right now 143rd pick in the draft. Definitely, our running back definitely got banged up last year. And I feel like it's good, no matter how confident you are on a running back. You guys know this is the National Football League, and nothing is ever promised. But with that being said, there's somebody who really took and stood out to me, and that's going to be Raheem Boyd from Arkansas. Dude is a beast. Backfield, causing havoc, catches the ball excellently. Definitely a north-south runner. You know what I mean? He's not all east-west stuff. Definitely gets the job done. I feel like with a good O-line, hopefully we can provide that this year. Gets better for Herbert and the whole offense. Raheem Boyd can also have some success as well, too. And as we itch towards the end of the draft, we are currently in round 6, the 174th pick in the draft. The Los Angeles Chargers, I have us getting another O-lineman. Folks, I got to say, if we don't put O-lineman at the top of the priority list, we look stupid. I mean, we look dumb as hell if we don't take and put O-lineman at the top and expect for us to even, think about it. We got the Raiders. We all know John Gruden. He's that guy's a popcorn, man. You don't know what the heck he's going to do in the offseason. He's ready to pull the trigger. Definitely a wild card. Obviously, you got, Kansas City Chiefs who won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, AFC champs from this previous year. And then, of course, you got the Broncos. They got stuff with injuries, but don't get it twisted. They're coming with that heat. We have to bring something to the table than just, Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. We got to make sure that we take and we protect him. That's why, yes, folks, and they're not sexy picks whatsoever, but 3 O-linemen, a minimum of 2, have to be addressed in this year's draft. Start high, get one in mid-range. And hey, I got a total of 3 O-linemen in this year's draft. Needs to be addressed. That being said, don't worry, the O-linemen are done. I don't have us getting any more. But I will say I do got Tommy Kramer, another inside linebacker. He can also play the outside as well too. Very curious to see if he'll get matched up on the edge there. But I feel like any more defensive players that we could get on our team, I think Mr. Kramer's gonna be an excellent fit for the scheme that the new coach is gonna be bringing. Okay, now as you guys know, seventh round picks. That's gonna be people like, hey, they may not even potentially make the team, but this is where you want to take your risks. You know what I mean? This is the guy who, maybe played for Army, and who's undersized, but maybe an explosive player. This may be where you may get the person who you never thought would make a roster, but may possibly have a Hall of Fame career. This is where you want to take your biggest risk is at the end of the draft. And every now and then you got somebody who gets into trouble. Obviously I'm filming this on March 9th. Hey, there's a lot of news stories to take and come out. There may be some second, third rounders who fall all the way down to 7 because off-field issues. This is the time that you want to pick those folks up as well, too. As you guys know, about the midpoint of the NCAA college football season, the Florida Gators had probably the most dominant defense in all of NCAA. But I have to say, Marco Wilson, I think it'd be wise for us to get another cornerback out there. Because, hey, when you're playing against teams with very, very fast, speedy receivers, you want speedy cornerbacks to take and match fire with fire. So I have him, us getting him picked up. So that does it for the draft. Let's do a quick recap before we end the episode. And again, before I go over all the picks one more time, you guys make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Hey, I also got my Cash App. Make sure, hey, you want to play a little donation, much appreciated. Keeps the channel going. But just to recap, man, we got a very well-rounded draft. I really like what we did in this draft. As you guys take and see, we got Gregory Russell, okay, coming edge rusher, defensive end, coming from the University of Miami. We also got Jackson Carman. As you guys know, Jackson Carman coming off that championship winning Clemson offense from last year from Clemson. Dude was a beast, did a wonderful job blocking for championship winning Trevor Lawrence, course, not this year they win it, but last year he did. Dude's a beast and has a couple years experience starting as an offensive tackle. Also got Walker Little, offensive tackle from Stanford. We got Trill Williams taking it back to the secondary, probably the most explosive cornerback in the draft. All right, obviously not a big name, but again, check out his stats. The video speaks for itself. We got Raheem Boyd, another running back coming out of Arkansas, Adrian Ely coming from Oklahoma, Tommy Kramer from Notre Dame, and then, of course, we got Marco Wilson, cornerback from Florida. Very excited to see what he does. I don't think that there's going to be a player that takes some flops out of this here, but again, this is where seasons are won and lost. It's going to be the draft, free agency. I mean, it starts with here. Very excited to take and see we have such an electric defensive coach who's now on our team. Definitely miss Coach Lynn, but as you guys know, you know, the way teams draft changes when you get a brand new coach. So very, very excited to take and see what the Chargers do this year. But anyway, you guys, that is all we got today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you agree with what I said, go ahead and put it down below. If you disagree, go ahead, put it down below. All opinions are welcomed here on the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Touchdown Nation, have a good night. See you next time.
I'm the tune in, now another sports center. It's a movement.